I'm fine. Fine. Fine, fine. Good, good, fine. I don't consider myself an angry person. Some of you might find this hard to believe, considering some of the videos I've made. But the cause of my anger over these past few months have been plainly obvious. And here's another thing that has brought me such rage. Sopa's back. Yep, you heard me correctly. Sopa is back. We have shot down Sopa, Pipa, and Sispa, and yet they continue. They continue to try and bring it back. Especially that fucking Lamar Smith, who I fucking despise. This time, it's for any copyrighted music. And any video that is found, they haven't really specified amount of times it's found with copyrighted material, music in the background or being sung, will land you into a felony. You heard me correctly. A felony. So, if your friends are over at your birthday party and you have a karaoke machine and they start singing happy birthday to you on video, that could land you in jail for a felony. I thought this was over. I really was naive and optimistic enough to believe Obama and the government got the hint. But over the past few months, obviously they didn't. Obviously they don't care about our rights. These past 9 months have made me the angriest I have ever been in recent history. I am just so fucking livid. So, with this Sopa bill, you want to know why this is a bad thing to do? Why this is so fucking insane to implement? Well, let me put 3 reasons. Reason number 1. You say copyrights hurt your business, that they will somehow make you lose money. And I call that bullshit. While I believe that musical artists deserve every penny they get if they're actually good, mind you, when you see songs performed on videos or in the background, I think that makes you want to buy the song more than it just wants you to just do a cheap listen. God knows there's so many video songs I've heard on YouTube that I've been waiting to come out on iTunes. I'm like, what the fuck? And one of my favorite musical reviewers, Todd in the Shadows, has reviewed pop song after pop song. And after watching each and every one of his reviews, especially the top 10 lists he does at the end of the year, I have literally bought dozens upon dozens of songs at his recommendation, or because I've seen them in his reviews. All you're going to do is hurt your business more than you will help. And that's the thing. That's one thing. The next is creativity. How is copywriting thwarting creativity, you may ask? Well, think about it. How many things over the years have spawned from some type of cut and paste formula from other songs or music? I mean, fuck, Lady Gaga is pretty much the 2010 version of Madonna. Albeit she's a better singer and a better artist than Madonna, but still. And Justin Bieber, as much as I hate him, he would be considered a felon and be landed in jail because of his earlier work before he became an art. I mean, a singer. So, yeah, he would be considered a felon. And what I mean by it stashes creativity, think about all the stuff over the years have come from some form of copyright. I'll give you one example. Hiro Mishima, a Japanese mangaka, most famous for his manga and anime Fairy Tail, and also Rave Master. If you look at some of his earlier work, you can see that he pretty much cut and pasted some of his drawings from Dragon Ball Z. The art styles are so similar. And me, I'm trying to do a similar thing to the Nostalgia Critic, to Angry Joe. Of course, I will put my own spin on it to make it a little bit more unique and not so done. So, when you're trying to copyright stuff that could lead to more creativity, not to mention the parody aspect, which helps create is more really imaginative, like songs I've heard of that are parodies of others, especially stuff like what Brental Floss sings, which are pretty good. You should check them out. You're not only getting rid of your own business, you're thwarting creativity and expansion of more underground artists who may have started by doing covers of these songs. Next, of course, is freedom. If you implement this kind of stuff, imagine I saw a news report about how some cake factory or some cake store would have kids come and draw their own stuff to put on the top of their cakes for their birthday cakes. But they had to stop because one thing kids would draw a lot of the time was cartoon characters and other copyright stuff. And they would get sued and whatnot. And I was like, what the fuck? For kids drawing cartoon characters, which are marketed towards them, that are put on their birthday cakes because of how much they like them and how they want to draw their own version of them. And who knows, what's next? You're going to be whistling the Andy Griffith tune down the sidewalk, and then some federal agent's going to come with me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my god. I'm just so exhausted. I'm so fucking exhausted over the past few months from all this shit. From Prism, from the Xbox One with anti-used games, to this shit. Ooh, sorry. And now look at it. They're trying to bring it back. Obama said he would not infringe on our freedoms. He's shot down Sopa, Pipa, and Cispa. Well, I'm not sure if that got shot down by him or if I didn't really keep too much track. I even participated in both the internet blackouts of the Sopa bill back in 2012 and in the Cispa bill a few months back, which, trust me, was the longest 24 hours of my life. And for them to keep bringing it back when it is only hurting them, when it's not really needed, when copyright is inevitable, but you can help copyright by making it, like I said, with reviews and whatnot, or it can inspire people to buy these songs or buy these movies and other such stuff, rather than just cut and paste and stealing. In fact, I think there's more people buying because they see this stuff on YouTube and whatnot than there is people stealing. So really, you're just going to be hurting yourselves by trying to implement this shit. Not to mention, making it a felony for people who post this. Do you realize what percentage of the country does this shit? Nearly half. Or probably even more than that. and you're still trying to implement it? Some of your Secret Servicemen probably posted this kind of stuff before they became Secret Service. You would put half the country in jail, enlisted as felons, unable to get work because of this shit. So, really, are you? And that's and Obama, why? You went to being the champion of the people, the guy I really wanted to win the election. I was such a big proponent of you. But in the last 9 months, my admiration and my hope has turned to hatred, into loathing. Well, pretty much the same thing, but still. I've never seen this big a 180 on our presidency. Some guy who seemed to be for freedom, for rights, and doing stuff like PRISM and all this shit. And now trying to bring back Sopa. And it's made me really distrustful in the system. It makes me think that the system is just a corrupt, non-existent thing. I mean, they are called civil servants. When you ignore the citizens that which you are hired, that you are elected by, that you're meant to serve. I mean, it's the whole thing with the background checks a few months ago for guns. 87% of the country, well, 86% of the country was in favor of it. And you shot that down. You were like, fuck them. They're just peasants. They're just sheep. We don't have to listen to a fucking thing they say because we have money. So much money. My lobbyist friends really want to get this money. And that's the other thing with marijuana, the marijuana things, legalization of marijuana. You want to know the biggest people who oppose that? The prison lobbyists. Because that would cut prison inmates down by at least 3/4. And you know how fucked up that is? When you're treating people, human beings, as commerce, as money, such as that, and taking away their rights and freedoms for money. I just don't know what to say. That's just a whole big fucking load of bullshit! So, for all of you who are in favor of shooting down this bill, go to any online petition you can find. I've already probably signed at least 2 or 3 petitions against this. Not to mention probably the dozens I've signed before this for Sopa, Pipa, and Cispa. And I'm actually surprised I haven't heard anything from Anonymous. They haven't posted anything from what I've seen. Then again, with Cispa, with PRISM, they've been pretty quiet. Since that was released. But still, if you're for freedom, if you're for creativity, if you're for having these artists make the money they deserve, then shoot down this bill. For the love of God. Half the people I watch on YouTube, not even a half, like at least 3/4 of the people I watch on YouTube, they will be out of the job. And they will be in prison for this shit. And that's just fucking wrong. That is wrong. So, please, shoot it down. Obama, don't make me lose any more hope in you than I already have. And trust me, I've lost so much respect for you. I really have. But until then, this is Riley Purcell Miller, signing off.